1. Sana'a, the timeless mountain capital of Arabia. Sana'a is one of those cities that feels like it exists outside of time. Nestled high in the Yemeni mountains at over 2,200 meters, the air is thin, crisp, and carries centuries of stories in every breeze. Its old city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is like an open-air museum of Arabian architecture. Tall, multi-story tower houses made of brown stone and sun-baked mud brick, decorated with white gypsum patterns that shine in the sunlight like icing on gingerbread. These houses aren't just beautiful, many are over 400–500 years old, yet still lived in, which makes the entire city feel alive with history and tradition. The heart of Sana'a is its bustling souks, where spices fill the air with warm aromas: cinnamon, cardamom, cumin, coffee, and incense mixing into a scent you only experience in Yemen. Walking down the narrow alleyways, you'll hear craftsmen hammering metal, weaving textiles, shaping jambiyas, the traditional curved daggers, and roasting coffee beans that Yemenis have cultivated for over 1,000 years. In fact, Yemen is where the world's earliest coffee trade began, and Sanaa's traditional coffee houses still feel like shrines to that legacy. Landmarks like Bab al-Yemen, the city's iconic main gate, greet visitors with grandeur, while ancient mosques such as the Great Mosque of Sana'a, built in the 7th century, stand as reminders of Islam's earliest architectural history. The city is layered with stories, from the Queen of Sheba's era, through medieval dynasties, to the bustling cultural capital it has been for centuries. Every sunrise paints the city's rooftops golden, and every sunset reveals the magic of Sanaa's silhouette against the mountains. It is one of the most atmospheric, soulful cities on Earth, a place where you don't just see history, you feel it. 2. Socotra Island, Earth's most surreal natural paradise. Socotra is often described as another planet, and it truly feels that way. Located in the Arabian Sea, far from Yemen's mainland, this remote island is home to landscapes so unusual they look like they were designed by fantasy artists. Towering above everything is the legendary dragon blood tree, with its umbrella-shaped canopy and deep red resin that seems to drip like mythical blood, a sight that instantly defines Socotra as one of the most unique ecosystems on the planet. More than 1/3 of Socotra's plant species are found nowhere else on Earth, and its wildlife has evolved in almost total isolation. The island's environment transitions dramatically as you travel, from white sand beaches with crystal-clear turquoise waters, to limestone plateaus scattered with alien-looking desert roses, to towering mountains wrapped in mist. The Hawk Cave offers ancient writings and formations that feel untouched by time, while places like Ditwa Lagoon and Kalancia Beach are consistently rated among the most beautiful beaches in the world. But what makes Socotra even more special is its peaceful, slow-paced cultural life. The local communities maintain a centuries-old pastoral lifestyle, herding goats and fishing in pristine waters. Nights on Socotra are unforgettable. With minimal light pollution, the stars explode across the sky, reflecting on quiet waters that look almost unreal. It is a natural wonder, a photographer's dream, and one of the planet's last untouched paradises. 3. Shibam Hadramawt, the world's oldest skyscraper city. Shibam, often called Manhattan of the Desert, is perhaps Yemen's most astonishing architectural achievement. Rising out of the flat Hadramawt Valley, it consists of dozens of mudbrick skyscrapers, some reaching 8 to 11 stories high. Built as early as the 16th century, these vertical structures were designed for protection against raids, making Shibam one of the first cities in the world to use urban height as a defensive strategy. Centuries before modern skyscrapers were conceived, the city is entirely enclosed within old fortified walls, and stepping inside feels like entering a living time capsule. Narrow streets cast deep shadows between the tall sandy-colored towers, creating a dramatic contrast of light and architecture. Each building, made entirely from mud, straw, and timber, is carefully maintained by residents, who use traditional techniques to keep them standing strong through the harsh desert climate. Watching the sunset from the surrounding hills is a breathtaking experience. The entire city glows golden, like a cluster of ancient giants guarding the valley. Shibam is more than architecture. It represents the ingenuity, resilience, and urban sophistication that existed in Yemen long before the modern world. It continues to inspire architects worldwide, standing proudly as one of humanity's greatest traditional engineering marvels. 4. Al-Mawat, terraced mountains and stone villages in the clouds. Al-Mawat is Yemen at its most peaceful and dreamlike. It is a region of deep green terraces sculpted into the mountainsides. Ancient stone villages perched on high cliffs, and mist rolling across the valleys at dawn like waves crashing over the land. The landscapes here are breathtaking. Every viewpoint seems to reveal another layer of mountains, another cascading slope of agricultural terraces, another cluster of houses blending perfectly into the earth. Villages like Al Tawila and Al Kama are masterpieces of traditional Yemeni architecture, built entirely from stone. They seem to grow organically out of the mountain itself. Life in Al Mawat moves at a calm, traditional rhythm. Farmers tending terraces that have sustained families for generations, women baking bread in clay ovens, and children running through the narrow alleyways of villages that feel centuries old. The region is also known for its mild climate compared to Yemen's warmer areas, making it a refreshing escape. Clouds often hover just above or below the villages, creating surreal moments where you feel like you are floating. Al Mawad is a place for travelers who seek authenticity, tranquility, and the untouched beauty of Yemen's mountainous heart. 5. Taiz, the cultural heart of Yemen. Taiz is known as one of Yemen's most intellectual and culturally rich cities. Surrounded by dramatic mountains, especially the towering Jabal Saber, Taiz has always had an artistic, literary, and academic spirit. Its old quarters are filled with lively markets, traditional bakeries producing the famous Yemeni bint al-Sin honey cake, and centuries-old mosques such as Al-Ashrafiyah, which is covered in beautiful white and blue Islamic patterns. The historic Cairo Castle sits on a hill overlooking the city, offering some of the best panoramic views in Yemen. Built over 1,000 years ago, the fortress tells the story of kingdoms, sultans, and medieval defenses. Below the castle, Taiz's old streets are full of craftsmen carving stone, working leather, and selling textiles in silks that feel authentically Yemeni. What makes Taiz truly special is its energy. It feels like a city deeply connected to art, thought, and daily life. The sound of calligraphy brushes, the aroma of fresh bread and spices, and the echo of mountain winds create a harmonious blend that leaves a lasting impression on every visitor. 6. Marib, land of the Queen of Sheba and ancient civilizations. Marib is one of Arabia's most historically important regions. Once the capital of the ancient Saban kingdom, the land of the legendary Queen of Sheba. Thousands of years ago, this area was a major center of trade, agriculture, and engineering, sustained by the Great Marib Dam, one of the ancient world's greatest architectural feats. Ruins such as the Owam Temple, Muram Bilqis, and the Bryn Temple reveal grand pillars, vast courtyards, and inscriptions that speak of a sophisticated civilization connected to trade routes stretching from the Mediterranean to India. The temples are surrounded by desert landscapes dotted with palms, giving them an atmosphere of timeless majesty. Marib also showcases Yemen's desert beauty, rolling dunes, golden light at sunrise, and a stillness that makes the ruins feel even more epic. This is a place where myth and history merge, where you stand on the same ground once walked by queens, priests, merchants, and ancient engineers. 7. Al-Muqa, the White City on the Arabian Sea. Al-Muqa, the capital of Hadramawt's coast, is a stunning white city stretched along the deep blue waters of the Arabian Sea. Its cliffside buildings and seafront promenades give it a Mediterranean meets Arabian character that feels refreshing and vibrant. Traditionally a fishing port, the city still carries an authentic maritime spirit, with local fishermen heading out at sunrise and returning with boats full of fresh fish. The old town's whitewashed buildings, narrow alleys, and wooden balconies make it one of Yemen's most picturesque coastal cities. The Corniche is especially lively at sunset, when families gather for tea, vendors prepare seafood, and the pink hues of the sky reflect beautifully on the water. Beyond the city, dramatic cliffs and empty beaches stretch for kilometers, offering peaceful escapes and stunning ocean views. Al-Muqa is also an entry point to Hadramawt's inland wonders, from Wadi Doan to Tarim, making it a perfect blend of coastal beauty, cultural charm, and access to Yemen's historical heartlands. 8. Wadi Hadramawt and Wadi Doan, Yemen's Grand Canyon of culture. Wadi Hadramawt is a vast, spectacular canyon system filled with palm groves, ancient villages, and some of Yemen's most charming architecture. Its cliffs tower above fertile valleys, where life has flourished for thousands of years. Within the wadi lies Wadi Doan, one of the most beautiful and culturally rich valleys in the Arabian Peninsula. Villages like Al-Qaraba, Al-Qarn, and Hayd al-Jazal cling to clifftops or fold into the landscape like a natural extension of the rock itself. These settlements are home to some of Yemen's most iconic moss-covered mudbrick palaces, rising tall and elegant against palm-filled valleys. The air is filled with the scent of dates, wood fires, and mountain winds. Life here is slow, traditional, and deeply connected to the land. Farmers harvest dates in summer, Families gather for afternoon tea, and the call to prayer echoes across the canyon walls in a hauntingly beautiful harmony. It is one of Yemen's most peaceful regions, a place that feels untouched, timeless, and overflowing with natural charm. 9. Zabid, a forgotten capital of knowledge and architecture. Zabid, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the oldest towns in Yemen and was once a major center of Islamic scholarship. For centuries, students traveled from across the Islamic world to study at its renowned schools, making Zabid a hub of knowledge and culture. Its old town still contains hundreds of traditional homes, mosques, and winding alleyways built in a distinct architectural style using coral stone and brick. The city's layout is circular, with historic neighborhoods connected by narrow streets that feel almost maze-like. Many of the buildings are adorned with intricate brick patterns and wooden doors that reflect centuries of craftsmanship. The Great Mosque of Zabid, one of Yemen's oldest, stands as a serene reminder of its intellectual and spiritual past. Although quieter than many other cities in Yemen, Zabid carries a unique charm. Its weathered walls, shaded alleys, and gentle atmosphere give it an authenticity rarely found elsewhere. 10. Al-Hadra and Haraz Mountains, stone fortresses above the clouds. The Haraz Mountains are among Yemen's most dramatic landscapes, steep cliffs, terraced farms, and villages that look like stone castles balanced on mountain tops. The most iconic of these is Al-Hadra, a breathtaking stone-built village perched on a sheer cliff at over 2,300 meters. The houses are constructed entirely from massive stones, stacked with remarkable precision, giving the village a fortress-like appearance. Walking through Al-Hadra feels like exploring a medieval kingdom carved into the mountains. Narrow paths lead between homes built vertically on the slopes, offering panoramic views of valleys that fade into mist. The terraces surrounding the village are masterpieces of traditional engineering, carefully carved into the mountainside over centuries to grow coffee, grains, and cat. The Haraz Mountains are also known for some of the best sunrise and sunset views in Yemen. At dawn, the peaks glow with soft golden light, and clouds drift through the valleys like rivers in the sky. It is a place where nature and human tradition blend perfectly, creating one of Yemen's most unforgettable landscapes.